back to the Fox Robbins Business Show. Great to have you back. This show, the Fox Robbins Show, is all about developing your best business ideas. And I'm the co-host, Bill Fox, and the other co-host is none other than the scintillating Cliff Robbins.
I'm scintillating.
Coach Robbins, I call him Coach Robbins.
Today.
And we have this episode is about advertising placement failures, so-called, but what the overall subject is your communication with the outside world, with potential, real and potential customers, people who might be interested in your business. You have to communicate, and there are many ways in which you communicate that you have to pay attention to. Let's take a look at this, Coach. This graphic, there's a graphic here called Total Communication Package with a whole bunch of balloons. I know it looks confusing, and you say, wow, what is that? All those little balloons represent all the different ways in which your small business contacts the public at large.
Mm-hmm. 360 degrees.
360 degrees. Such as your name, your logo, your colors, your vehicles, if you have vehicles,
your clean vehicles,
company signage, the presentation at your company headquarters, if you have a location, news releases, your employees. How do your employees act out there? What are they saying about your company? How do they appear to the public? You know, not only at the business premises,
outside,
but elsewhere.
Even after hours.
Various services provided to the customer. Your the internet participation.
That's huge.
These days, magazine, technical tech papers, promotional gifts, and so forth. Anyway, we did this graphic because we know that what you do is you deal with each one of these issues one at a time. And sometimes it's a little shocking to see them all together in one place at one time.
Right.
But the issue is, excuse me, go ahead.
It's kind of like eating a bowl of peas, I'd like to say. You just got to do them a few at a time. You can't eat the whole bowl at once.
When you look at the whole bowl at one time.
You say, oh my God, how am I going to eat that? Well, just eat a few at a time.
But communications is vital. Each and every way in which you contact current and potential customers out there and so forth makes a difference, and you must pay attention to this. You must be aware and pay attention. Now, in this episode, we're going to scope it down, and we're just going to deal with one issue, which is signage.
Signage, that's all. Just that one. Like eating a bowl of peas. We're just going to eat these few.
We're going to eat one pea.
Right, one at a time.
We're going to deal with signage, and we're going to do it in kind of in a fun way and show you some signage that didn't work out so well, just to make our point.
Somebody at headquarters didn't pay attention.
Yeah, but you need to pay attention, and this is why. So we're going to move into our first presentation, Coach.
Yep.
This is none other than the world famous McDonald's.
I've heard of them.
You've heard of McDonald's?
Yes, I have.
And unfortunately,
I have kids.
Happy Meals.
Happy Meals, Ronald McDonald, boy, they marketed directly to the kids. And I happen to like, forgive me, Burger King because it was grilled a little bit. But the kids demanded McDonald's, and that was the whole focus of their advertising campaign in general, is to win the hearts and minds of the kids, and they'll drag the parents to McDonald's. And it worked.
Speaking of advertising campaign, we've got a signage issue. The great McDonald's.
Yep.
Here's a McDonald's sign with the burger and the fries and the shake and all that kind of stuff, and a big arrow that says straight ahead, and up above that arrow there's another sign that says diabetes. So a heart attack could be right around the corner. So what do you think of that?
Yeah, no, I love this one. This is great. Dollar menu. So for just $1, you can get yourself a heart attack. That's great. That's a wonderful promotional piece there. Wireless internet. Yeah.
And you think somebody should be paying attention to that?
The local franchisee is probably the culprit on this one. I doubt McDonald's headquarters, when they saw that, did not call him and say, get that off of there.
If they did, somebody would have indigestion seeing that.
Yeah. Just go to McDonald's and a heart attack. It's right around the corner.
So pay attention, know what's out there.
Yep.
This is a strange one. I'm going to hand you, Coach, is from the company called Aflac, which
Aflac.
they're an insurance company.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the white duck.
The duck, yeah.
And they've done an excellent job of representation. It's a memory sticker, that white duck.
Yeah, creating a brand
saying
identity for the company, yeah.
I mean, you give credit where credit's due.
Oh, yeah.
But some clever person in their advertising department created this ad, which at the top of the ad says, "Anatidaephobia, fear that you are being watched by a duck." I mean, it's like, is this serious? I mean, don't you have to pay attention to this kind of advertising?
Anatidaephobia, the fear that you're being watched by a duck. Yeah, it's 1984 already. How about that, George? Oh, well.
Is that communication going to work, Coach? What do you think?
Not at all, because I would hope that they would be trying to promote the fact that the duck is watching out for you. So this is just the antithesis by saying anatidaephobia, the fear that you are being watched by a duck, would tend to drive me away from Aflac, to tell you the truth.
So you think it's not going to do its job?
It went in 180 degrees in the wrong direction.
Now here's a strange one I'm going to hand you. This is Nestle Corp. That's
Chocolate,
an international corporation, giant corporation.
Yeah, big.
Here's a sign, to a sign that's supposed to make you hunger, for a Nestle product.
Sure. Yeah.
And yet sitting right in front of this sign, is a dumpster. What do you think of that?
Nestle Foods, eat garbage, yeah. I know chocolate probably isn't one of the best things you can eat, especially if you're watching, your waistline. But I mean, that really does help turn you off to eating any Nestle Foods if it comes right out of the dumpster.
Well, you know that saying, whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
Well,
and here you have a beautiful model,
yeah,
but with her mouth open,
yeah.
Seeming to gobble up the dumpster.
Licking a garbage can. That's great. Yeah. All right. Nestle, again, headquarters is going to be pretty upset.
Be careful about that one.
Oh, boy.
This one is also an international company, and it's really hard. It's hard to blame anybody, but here is a Shell gasoline station.
Yeah.
Being demolished or torn apart to be probably to do a remake, to rebuild it.
They modernize them.
But here the wreckage of the old building has still left the word hell, Hell.
I think they should have taken the whole sign down all at once.
I don't think that if you're Shell International that you'd like to see the word hell, community. What do you think of that one, Coach?
Yeah, no, I would have preferred that they take the entire sign down very quickly. Again, there's nobody even on the job site, so obviously that thing sat at least overnight, maybe longer, and not good, boys and girls. I'll tell you, pay attention.
Now this one, the one I'm going to hand you now, Coach, is be careful what you wish for.
Just might get it.
Is someone created a signage, and it says, "If it ain't broke, break it." And there's a bottle. I think it's a lemonade drink or something like that, whatever. And look at underneath. The public took them to heart, and there's all this carpet of broken glass.
Well, that's what they were told to do. I mean, would they have a problem with that? Just if it ain't broke, break it. Mike's Hard Lemonade. Probably somebody drank too much of it and decided to shatter the booth. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that does you too much good, does it?
Well, maybe there was something broken about it in the first place, and they followed the rule. I don't know. Crazy.
And this one, Coach, is a strange placement. This is a graphic, with men advertising men's wear, knitwear, underwear, but right underneath them, women's legs. As women's hosiery and socks right on one or the other. That's a little bit strange, don't you think?
Well, I mean, I remember back, 20 years ago, Joe Namath doing a pantyhose ad, so maybe 20% off men's knitwear, and This guy's got some good legs, though. I say, no, I mean, obviously, no. I mean,
You got to admit that's a strange placement. I don't think.
I don't know what company this is, but they screwed it up.
If you're the businessman, if you're the business owner, you'd want to know that's.
I would want that
placement
changed.
is a little bit.
I would want that fixed right
yeah,
away. And not only that, this guy's looking down and he's smiling at his new legs. So
This one is I'm going to hand you is a department store signage.
Yep.
And here it's got emblazoned on the top, baby needs. And right below, beers and wine.
Well, yeah.
That's a strange placement.
Well, yeah, babies need beer and wine. Why, I don't know. If you want to start them on the road to alcoholism, start them young, right? I cannot imagine anybody, a manager or somebody putting these two together. I know babies wine, but I don't think that's what they were talking about.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy to see these things, but these aren't made up. These aren't Photoshopped. These are real things.
No, these are real from the real world.
Are you kidding me? Right.
The next one I'm going to hand you is a massive outdoor sign for the movie Les Miserables.
Oh yeah.
However, out in front is probably a light post that someone put a sign on, with Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
Yeah.
And Jack, in that famous shot from the movies, Jack is saying, "Here's Johnny."
Yeah, when he's peeking through the door.
And standing out in front of Les Miserables, it's a strange
Yeah.
positioning. What do you think about that?
Well,
one?
again, these things, if you get at the right angle and you've blocked out the little girl, it's Jack Nicholson starring in Les Miserables, as produced by Stanley Kubrick. That would be really quite a group of people getting together, and I'm sure, I forget who wrote Les Miserables. Was it Dumas, one of the French?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's turning over his grave saying, I do not want Stanley Kubrick doing any of my work.
And Jack Nicholson.
And I don't want Jack Nicholson starring.
Yelling, "Here's Johnny."
Yeah. Unless he stars as the police officer chasing, John Valjean.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then he'd be perfect because he's crazy person.
This one is I guess a world famous company, but based in Seattle, Starbucks.
Starbucks, yeah, they're huge.
Now, who would have? This is just a matter of misfortune that there's a delivery truck delivering Starbucks coffee,
yeah.
To some location.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And when the truck driver, opens the sliding door
Right.
on the side of the truck, it produces a new sign that says "sucks."
Yeah, right. Now, it's certainly not the driver's fault because he's just a truck driver, but I would question when they were loading the truck that nobody didn't stand there and notice that the TARB are gone and the new sign says "sucks." And of course, it's clearly the Starbucks logo, which is, becoming quite
Which
famous.
you can't miss.
So you will
Cannot
know
miss.
this is Starbucks, and basically now what the truck is moving beautifully from location to location to tell literally thousands of people that Starbucks sucks. All right. Not the message you want to send.
Boy, that's.
That I like that one.
And this is another. This is in a similar vein. It's a company selling tires. Here's a big over-the-road truck with back doors, that swing open.
Right.
And unfortunately, one of the doors is open, the other is not.
Yeah.
The one that is not closed yet says, "If we can't, we won't." Is that a flash of honesty?
Well,
or what
that
is
is honesty. I mean, you're being honest with your customers. Say, look, if we can't, we won't. All right, so we're not even going to try. So what the hell are you going to do business with us for? Yeah, sounds like something Yogi Berra would say, actually.
Well,
All right.
when you created that logo display in the back of the truck, maybe you wouldn't have thought, well, if I open one door, I get a crazy sign.
But somebody has to look at both
Like
the
the Starbucks
Starbucks
thing.
and this thing, and what's it going to look like? And don't you think somebody would open that door and say, hey, wait a minute, this is silly. Is anybody paying attention? Anybody home with any of these things?
Yeah. This is a strange one. Actually, I think I got this one from you.
Yeah, you did. I like that one.
It's a newspaper clipping.
Yeah.
At the top, it's announcing county to pay $250,000 to advertise lack of funds.
Right.
That's brilliant.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, this is typical of, our legislative folks. That Lane County will spend up to $250,000 this year publicizing the fact that it has a very tight financial picture. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why they've got, I think maybe they could have used $250,000 a lot better. And what were they trying to accomplish? To convince people to let them raise the taxes? I have no idea. This one, when I saw it, is what I consider beyond stupid, okay? I mean, they're stupid, and you can't fix stupid, but this is beyond stupid.
Somebody wasn't watching, I guess. I
They
don't
just, well, you know what? In my vast 37-year career as a business advisor, I've seen a lot of dumb things,
Right.
and most of them are done by legislative bodies, quite frankly.
Now, this is a strange one. And again, I believe I got this display
Yeah,
from
you
you. It's from
This
your.
is one I've used for years about the importance of getting your message out, particularly on your business card or your URL, and how you clearly designate what your company's name is.
Well, someone is clever here. It says kids exchange. It's supposed to be kids exchange,
Yes.
I guess, on the signage. But the way it's arranged, all in one word, it could easily be read as kid sex change.
Right. And of course, it's very popular today with Bruce Jenner and all. But the reason I bring this one in, and this is a fail, kids exchange, we read in groups of letters, okay, and not letters individually.
Yeah.
So what they need to do is capitalize the K or enlarge the K and enlarge the E so that clearly we will not read it as kids sex change. We'll read it as kids exchange.
Yeah.
And to have them all together gives you a choice on how you're going to put it together. And of course, this one is ridiculous.
Toys R Us does that. They capital T is it, and the big R.
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
You can't run that together.
Right. And I have a lot of people will say to me, well, that's the way it is in my name. And I tell them, your name isn't case sensitive when somebody's looking for it. It's not case sensitive. You're reading, your eye is case sensitive, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, passwords are, so uppercase, lowercase. But
Right.
when you've got kidsexchange.com for your website, capitalize the K, capitalize the D. It's not, even if I were typing in all lowercase, I'd still get to your website.
And another one I got from you is this is Walgreens, the
Big
drug
pharmacy, yeah.
I don't know. Actually, these days a Walgreens and a CVS. You really shouldn't be calling it a drugstore anymore. I mean, it's they're selling food.
Well, yeah, they've been doing
and
that.
snacks and
Yeah.
clothing and sunglasses and you name it.
Everything. They're a mini mart is what they are really now. I remember back 30 years ago that when you went into a CVS, it was a CVS, it was a drugstore. It didn't have all these other things. And then there was a very clever entrepreneur in Rhode Island. I wish I could remember his name, and I can't. He opened up about 6 or 8 of his drugstores, and he added all of these other products like a mini mart. And he was tremendously successful, and I think CVS bought him out eventually.
Oh, yeah.
And got the idea, which is good, that, hey, let's bring these people in every day. Let's do photographs. Let's have sunglasses. Let's have batteries. Let's give them more to help pay for the real estate.
Sure.
And we still have the drugs in the back that we're making a fortune on. I mean, that's the big money maker is the drugs. But let's bring the people in on a more regular basis. Since the facility's here, let's bring them in. It's the same reason that McDonald's decided to try breakfast. I mean, they invented the fast food breakfast, 25 years ago.
Right.
They weren't open in the morning. They said, but the building's still here. We're still paying taxes. We're still heating it in the winter. Geez, if we could open for breakfast. So they created a whole fast food breakfast industry by coming up with their breakfasts and just expand the hours that the business. They've tried very hard to do dinner, but it just doesn't work. People don't go to McDonald's for dinner,
But they did get, you just reminded me that they hung themselves up a little bit on the breakfast issue, that the big decision makers decided that breakfast would cease at 11.
Oh, yeah.
So the people would come in at 11:15, for a cup of coffee and a breakfast, and you can't get it.
Yeah.
I see that the market has now thrashed them, pounded them back into reality.
Give me what I want when I want it if I'm going to give you my money. The darn thing is right there. It's frozen probably. Nuke it, fry it, give it to me. Don't tell me you're not going to give it to me because it's 11 o'clock. I like these little restaurants that say, we serve breakfast all day. All right? I mean, crack open a couple of eggs, throw a piece of bacon on. I mean, if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and somebody wants breakfast, give them what they want. They'll give you their money happily,
So whoever the big decision maker who made that decision got thrashed by the marketplace.
Good, they should have shot him.
But this was Walgreens, the signage I got from you.
Yep.
And this sign, somebody put this sign out. It says, we have all your back-to-school supplies, which is for kids.
Yeah, of course.
And
books, pencils, paper,
immediately under that says 12-pack Miller.
Yeah. Okay, no, there's no problem with that. This is basically focused at the college student, you see. Okay? Certainly not the high school student. They're not old enough to drink, and they would never think of drinking a beer, right? Yeah, I mean, we have all your back-to-school supplies, including a 12-pack of Miller, for the dorm room, and you can't make this stuff up. This is not Photoshop. These are real. Somebody took a picture of this saying, are they kidding? Is the manager reading this thing or just throwing stuff up there,
And we have signage that relates back to our co-host.
Well, I now consider that my logo.
Warning cliff ahead.
Yeah.
Our co-host strikes again.
All right. Yeah. I like this. I found this by accident, and I said, oh, that really pertains to me, because people ask me all the time about my advising, and I tell them, with the Small Business Development Center, my advice is free. Anytime you go to SBDC, it's free advice. Yeah. And they'll say, well, will you be honest with me and tell me if you think something is wrong? And I say, will I? I say, look it,
Just you wait.
Years ago when I was making, money as a consultant, I might have been more careful about what I said, but now I'm free. You want to fire me, go ahead. I just tell it the way I see it. Yeah. I try to do it gently to some degree, I mean, I'm not a brute. But I'm going to tell you, if I think the thing is terrible, I'll say, you might reconsider what you're doing, or you might reconsider the way you're, building your brand or destroying your brand. But warning. Yeah. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you. I am not a politician. I'm sorry. It's just not who I am. I wouldn't spend $250,000 to advertise that I was short of funds. But I'm going to tell people what I really believe is in their best interest and in the best interest of their business. And a lot of times, sometimes, I shouldn't say a lot of times, they don't like what I tell them. Yeah. But that's okay, I'll tell them anyway. Somebody has to tell them.
Well, back to, I'm going back to the graphic at the beginning of the show called the Total Communications Package to wrap this up. We have been, in the last few minutes, have been dealing with company signage,
signage.
We've been in an amusing way, and that's well and fine.
It can be fun.
Yeah. We make the point. Yeah. Be aware of what maybe you're at your business, and you're focused on your business. Yeah. You don't know what's going on out there. That's not good. You can't
take the blinders off and be vigilant. Right. Because in today's world, there are not just signage, as you say with this chart. There are so many ways that your customers are getting a message about your business, and you better be aware of all of those messages that are being given. They're not all necessarily within your control, but you do need to be aware of what's going on.
Right. And a simple thing to make that point, your business card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have an effective business card.
Yeah, good quality business card. A business card is like a mini mini billboard, you know? I mean, you notice that when my business card, I have put on the back the type of consulting I do. When I first started, I said I'd like to print these things on the back of my card, and they called me and said, well, we've never printed on the back of a card. How do I do that? I said, turn it over. It ain't rocket science, folks.
But your business card, it's a small item, but I say I've seen many business cards where like your phone number is in this tiny print that you almost need
contrast, you got like
magnifying glass.
Yeah, you got a little pink cutesy font that you can't read on a light blue background.
Put the numbers so I can see the number and dial it immediately. Or
you need a triple pair of these things just to pick up the number. I know.
That's a small thing, but
it's contract. No, it's a huge thing because you're giving somebody a business card. It's got to be clear. I want to contact you.
Yeah. Anyway, your business card, direct mail. If you have direct mail going out from the company, your space advertising in magazines and newspapers.
Yep.
Emailing. If you email, don't send out stupid emails. I mean, that's a communication device.
They should be checked out and spell checked, please.
And a subject matter that doesn't get people to throw it into spam.
Yeah. Well, it's a subject that people are getting. We're getting so much spam today that we just go through it, and I don't know who sent me this. I just look at the subject, and if the subject catches me, I may read it, and if it doesn't, it's deleted.
Go on. And well, anyway, we have to wrap it up. Be aware of your total communications package, and in
360
particular
degrees.
Signage. And thank you once again for watching Fox Robbins Business Show. Feel free to send us any comments to foxrobbins@gmail.com, and we will see you guys next time.